Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen.
Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this brand new day. Yes, indeed, a brand new day filled with illness and sickness, and everything that the world is heir to. Thumbs up, yay! I am alive. I am getting better. I feel slightly better in some ways, and not so much better in others. So, I mean, I've got more of a cough because that's more drainage. Every time I cough everything up that collects down here in my upper breathing, then I'm clear. And then I don't cough until enough drainage clogs things up again. Cough and I'm clear. So it is still just a cold. You know, it's primarily up here, a head cold draining down this direction. So cough to get the stuff up, then I'm fine. But it's still no fun. I mean, I've burned through every single one of my travel tissues. When I say that, I'm lying, because I have a few of these left. But I have burned through almost every single one of my packets. There's just little tiny ones left. I have about 1 or 2 of these. I used to have like 8 containers of 8 of these. So I had a busload, but this cold, my head has been a juice factory. Thumbs up. Okay, though, but for the Shelton, Washington Weather Plague Rat and Spider Report, for the weather report, I went out walkies last night. Not far. I just walked to Safeway and back. I did a little bit of around town walkies on my way to Safeway, but I just went to Safeway and not to Walmart and back. So I was like, maybe 2 miles grand total walk. But as long as I get a little exercise in while I'm sick, I'm fine. I don't need to do a lot. So thumbs up on that. But I went out walkies and that was good. But it didn't rain last night. It had been raining all day again. It is not raining right now. It might later on, I don't know. It is, of course, dark. You know, daylight savings and changing weather. So thumbs up on that. For the Plague Rat Report, again, I don't see people wearing masks outside in the public. And usually, about 80% of the people inside of stores are at least trying. You know, minus the ones that just don't care. So, yay. Now, there are like 10,000 people that live in Shelton, the city, and, you know, the city environments. And Mason County isn't huge, but it's got people in it. On the official count, the number of official people that have it has been like under 1,000 so far, and we've only had a couple deaths from it. So it's burning, but it's a slow burn in this area. But all it takes is one. You just need one person who's not taking it seriously, going someplace, bumping up against somebody else who isn't taking it seriously that picked it up. They bring it back, and this thing is just as contagious, if not more so, than the common cold. Yay. But for the spider report as well, the 2 garden spiders over in the window area, I don't know if they're the same spiders. They may be. I don't know about the one that has traveled, if it is the same spider. Because I had a garden spider near the bottom of the window until my cat knocked everything out of the window. Now she doesn't go into the window anymore, so yay. But she knocked everything out of the window, and so it moved up near the top of the window frame. Last night, it was moving upward further, and then it went from a nice large web at the bottom to a smaller web up at the top. Now it's kind of in the cobweb areas up in the juncture of wall and ceiling. So I don't know what's going on with that spider. If it's the same one, it looks like it, same species. So hopefully she's doing okay. The other spider, she was moving around yesterday doing work on her web, and so she's still there, still must be getting eats. So that's a good thing. I still have moths flying around in here periodically, so I think they're kind of cute, moths. I mean, I call them flying cats informally because they're fuzzy and fluffy and they largely look cute. I like moths that way. So I don't hurt them if they're flying around. I just bat them away if they like, or they always like fly at my face or fly toward me. There's a whole room here of space. They don't need to always be flying toward me. So I just bat them out of the air and move them away. So thumbs up for that. Aren't a ton of them flying around because, hey, there's spiders in the room. So thumbs up for that. But there we go. That is the Shelton, Washington Weather Plague Rat and Spider Report. Now, I don't really have anything else written down on my topics list because I haven't been feeling good. I haven't really been able to think much because I normally have fibro fog. It makes it difficult to think. And then with my ADHD, it makes it even harder to concentrate. Even before my fibromyalgia, I said this before, I'll say it again. Back in the early 90s, I used to tell people that I had the attention span of a coked out butterfly from my alcoholism. I find out now that I had the attention span of a coked out butterfly because of my ADHD. So it's affected me my whole life. Let's see, where am I going with this again now that I've forgotten? So I don't have a ton because I've been sick. Oh yes, I started off with why it's hard to think. I got the fibro fog, I got the ADHD, and I've got this extra fog from the illness because I can feel it. My ears are affected because, my sinuses, and it just feels odd because, like I said, my hearing's affected and I feel odd because I'm sick, and there's a whole other layer, blanket, fluff of fog on top of everything. So it's really hard to think of things and be creative. I've still been trying to play games, and nothing that really requires a lot of thinking. I mean, even under normal circumstances. One of the reasons I love role-playing games, and I really like that Outer Worlds one by Obsidian, but you have to think and concentrate, and while I love that game and I love the stuff that's going on, I can't think. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to get some ADHD medication here semi-soon, and then I'll be able to concentrate and hold my attention to things. Games that don't require you to stop and think, I can keep going fine, because that's easy to concentrate on. And, it's flashing lights and bright sounds. Well, loud sounds, and that's attention grabbing. So, yay. But I try to think, and I try to do stuff, and I try to think of all these various things. I try to be as creative as I can. Thumbs up for that. I mean, I got plenty of ideas for stories, been thinking of those. I just need to get the ability to actually do them. Been working more on various concepts for things, because I like this one character that I've got in my cosmic horror multiverse thing, Tammy Bayman, where in her world, with the otherworldly stuff that comes into her universe, I figure most people, we're like on a seesaw. There's good and there's bad on each side, and we're right in the middle. And depending on environment, depending on temperament, it can tilt in either direction. And so there's a natural inclination for people to either, to shake them, and you try to stumble and catch your balance, and you move in a direction whichever's downward. So if your negative emotions are like this and much more powerful, you're going to stagger downwards toward that. Tammy is one of the few people in her worlds that you knock them and they stagger toward the good side. She's also one of those because of all these extra universal energies seeping into her universe. She's picked up an ability that like one in a million people in the world get this. And she can no longer just be hurt or damaged. She's had one adventure where she was the only survivor in a whole town that had gotten wiped out. As where every time the things tried to hurt her, she would stumble or fall, or they would make a mistake. And every time she swung at them, it just happened to be the perfect spot for maximum destruction. Not her decision, not her choice, just it happened. And it's one of those things, it's like you discover your eyes are green. It doesn't matter that she's figured it out. It's like, I can jump high. Well, some people, when they figure out they jump high, they play basketball and take advantage of that. Well, she's got this thing. She's not trying to take advantage of it and then make a profit or do this. She's just trying to live, because in her world, things are falling apart. Because of these extra universal energies, throughout the world's history that she lives in, there has been talk of this secret cult where there is a people figure that there is I've forgotten the word, but you pass on the title so that the person that has the title carries the name. They're not that person, they're just carrying the mantle. And so there's been talk of a Cody Rain or Cody Ron and an Angoka or Angoka or like that throughout history, all human history. And things that just keep getting more and more violent. People will just suddenly snap. It's like they had a word. We use the word amok in the United States and other English-speaking countries to talk about someone that goes, just violently crazy. They run amok. That's from an actual thing that happened in like some Indonesian country, still happens now, where people will just suddenly snap and start killing. And it takes a lot of work to take them down. And that happens in this with increasing frequency as time goes on. So their world is falling apart badly. By this time now, the main character, she just survives. Her power helped her out there she called in sick the one time she ever called in sick. And one of her co-workers came in with a whole bunch of butcher knives. And she went into the building with 13 employees, and she was the only one that came out. And it took a whole bunch of cops with a whole bunch of bullets, and even though they got 2 headshots on her, she still took out 2 cops with knives before it was all done. So it's a bad, bad place and a bad time. But it's one of those situations where, once again, multi-universal. I don't even have to stick with one setting because there's not just one Tammy. Everything's a multiverse. Just stick with her setting and I can put whatever story I want there because there's an unending number of her, just like there's an unending number of all of us. So I'm just rambling on about my little story idea there. Hopefully not too boring. Hopefully I'll be able to come up with some work on her again. And I've got a whole thing that I'm working on again once more. I'd like to have a thing where I actually move the camera about, so I bring it up and such. So I've got ideas. Whether or not I'll be able to do anything with them, that's another story. I still have that WNKLV radio thing that I talked about a year ago that I want to get done. So we'll see what happens. So that's what I've been doing. Trying to be creative, trying to be sick. Doing a good job being sick, I think. I'm not trying to be sick. I don't think I have a fever, but I don't know because I don't have a thermometer to take my own temperature with. And when trying to check your own fever with warm hands, you're not going to be able to tell. So, yay. But I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now, except accidentally. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as I can. I have to fight through the executive dysfunction, so I don't do it as well as or as much as I want to, but I try. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, ADHD, illness, and more right now. I get lost easily. So let me call it my Chrome here. We have Ice Damon, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Nelson, good to see you. Justin Hefner, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, good to see you in the comments. We have Just Someone, thumbs up and thank you. Alex Salas, thumbs up and thank you. Rick Alfano, greatly appreciated. Made in Canada, thumbs up. Melissa Ramirez, greatly appreciated. Mike, thumbs up. Kendra Souder, greatly appreciated. Sean Vilar, good to see you. Grim Reaper, no, I have not played Yandori Simulator. Russian Timing, greatly appreciated. Gaming Grandpa, good to see you. And I'm going to have to check your channel out as well. I haven't had a chance yet. NO, thumbs up. Haycon Kurt, greatly appreciated. And then we have Goeie Gaming. I'm going to have to check out your channel too if you have anything there, just from the name. Leoman Santos, greatly appreciated. Rexo Man, thumbs up. Richard Chest, thumbs up and thank you. Crimson Eclipse, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisenauer, I'm sorry you're dealing with crazy people, hokey smokes. SMD! With an exclamation point, greatly appreciated. And that's it. 24 comments in the past 24 hours, greatly appreciated. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you all. There's the cop cars outside. Yay. I don't know if you can hear that. Sometimes my mic picks up outside stuff real good, sometimes not. Yay. If you could check out my various links down below. I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you'd like to help me out financially but don't want to send money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well with things like cat food, hamster bedding. My cat uses hamster bedding, Aspen in her cat box. Silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very, very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Well, hokey smokes, hopefully I'm gonna keep getting better. That would be a good thing. I mean, I feel a little better in some ways, as stated, but in other ways, like, my ears are more plugged up now, so in other ways I don't. Yay. Still though, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And of course, great story about that. Well, maybe not a great story. By great, I meant big. Yeah, a large story about the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment, how it suffers from a surplus of scorn and is ready to cast that scorn upon those it finds disappointing, and how you should be careful, for its mockery is severe. That will come as soon as I feel better. And Black Lives Matter. Damn it. Ugh. And justice for everyone, the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs in police uniforms keep brutalizing and murdering in their homes and on American streets. Ugh. Please wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, practice your social distancing, stay at home unless you have to go out. It's bad. I know. It's bad. We're all in survival mode, but this is the only way to get through it safely. So, practice your self-care. Stay as safe as you can. Be as creative as you can. And I will see you on the flip side, my friend.